Alright, so this is how I do in the fender flares on the rear. I cut that out so that the door is separate, and then I scored a line right at the corner, so the inside of this, and then I pull that out. Now that's going to be really weak, so I do have this thin styrene I'm going to put on top, and then hope that makes it stronger. So I'll have that in there like that. So I try to sand some of this paint off. I did purple power it. It's still on there pretty thick, as you can see. But it's enough where I can actually start doing stuff like this and getting it going. I'll worry about the paint job later. I get some of this stuff together. The primer will probably go over that really well. One thing I noticed about that purple power versus taking paint off, if you have it primed, purple power works really good and really fast. But if you don't have it primed, it takes forever. Some of this stuff is not coming off, so like right there, I get that. This is pretty thin. I can't remember what size it is, but it's really thin. It's not the thinnest, because I want some strength, but it is thin enough where it'll take that shape. And I'm doing it this way because I didn't want to wet that seam too much. I'm afraid that if that glue gets in there and it's that thin, that it's going to actually rip that right off. Meld it all the way through. There you can tell it is a lot stronger now. So, and then once I do this part here, so now I gotta do the other side. So to glue these sides in, I'm gonna take that same real thin styrene, put it in there, glue the one side, hold it in place, let it cure, and then I'll glue the other side in place. So made sure I cleaned up those edges. This one I have to clean up a little bit more, but I'm going to do this other side first. So Sorry for a crappy camera angle. I ain't really used to doing that. So there we go. I'm just holding it till it cures completely. And then once all this is done cured where I want it to be, then I will just cut the excess off. I think I used a little too much glue. I used a lot more of that than styrene than I wanted to, but I didn't want to cause any troubles. So I just wasted some of it just to avoid problems. There's that. Now I'm going to do the other side. And then let this cure real good before I start trimming that off. So I got the flares all built in, sanded. Really added a lot of strength to it with just that real thin plastic. Put a little piece here, sanded it off, and cut the angle just to help hold it. Every once in a while I'll get a little piece like that. Just add a little glue. Cut off the gas tank. I'm going to probably end up doing a fuel cell with it. So I cut that off, put a plate on it for decoration. And I started building a trunk. And got the rear bumper glued on. Now, I've been debating on how I'm going to lay this tire. Like that, like that. I might do it like this. Also, I could cut this off, put some bracing in there, and then the bumper piece here. Have that cut out, and then have that bumper stay, but cut the light out to that bumper, and then keep, you know, the smaller light so it ain't light all the way across. It's one idea. I have a cut about that size. So, since I'm debating on that idea before I cut it, I end up moving on to the front. So, this is the driver's side of the front so far. So this is how much space I actually took out. I cut the same for the next one, which is going to go right here. So I glued that on the same spot that I cut off. I took it and smoothed it down a little bit so I can glue that onto it. And then that will bring out, and then I'll glue it onto the fender in the same spot. So it's like that. And as you can see there, that's what it looks like there. So once that cures really good, I am going to put this piece in. So then once I get that all cured, I can put in a filler piece. I'll go a little bit past that. I'll put the hood in. I'll trace that line and cut it, and then I'll glue it, put the hood down, glue it on there, glue that piece, and sand the seam, try to hide the seam as much as possible. I'll see about building that up. And then the front, I'll have to work the front a little bit, sand that front edge, hide that, like so. That material is almost the right thickness. Yeah, just take a pencil, mark that, cut it, sand it. But since I got this so far, you can see how much I've widened that. Quite a bit. And then if I just set this on here. You can see the flare. This one I'm probably going to leave open. We'll close up the bottom, attach that, so that way that's a vent instead. One idea I was playing with was if I can run the headers over and then have them popping out of here. I think that would be pretty cool. But we'll see when we get there. So for the headlights and grill, I looked for the easiest spot to cut, which is right there. I just cut it straight down, match with that seam, and then I cut in an angle right there. I still would like to use this. We'll see how everything goes together. I might just put spacers in and space it out, but I don't think I'm going to keep this part of the grill. Might keep the bumper, so I have to add on to that. And let's see, it's the same thickness as one of the materials I have right there. So if I cut that out, I should be able to build that up and put that angle in there, or cut that out or so. We'll see. But I'll cut that out and get started on the other side. This, I smoothed this out. Now I can glue that. I use a lot of clothespins to hold that down. So make sure you use a lot of clamps. You want that bond to be strong. So let that cure and glue it onto the front clip, the engine compartment. Glue that together. That you would want to make sure it's, the same angle perpendicular with this. If they're both going like this or that, you're going to have a weird look.